This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we're going to be flying all over the world, visiting different popular cities and talking to locals and trying to learn about their culture and different things in a trivia game. Today we're taking a look at When in Rome. This is a new party trivia style game for two teams, and you're going to be trying to just basically answer trivia questions, but the big twist here is it uses the Amazon smart speakers, the Alexas, either the Alexa speakers or the Alexa app to help run the game. So let me show you how this works, and I'll see you on the other side. So here's the board that comes with When in Rome, and it's a trivia game of general knowledge about different things of different cities from around the world. Now in order to play this, you must have one of the Amazon Echo style smart speakers, or you can use the Amazon Alexa app. Players will separate out into two different teams, red and blue team. Now the game lasts over either 9 rounds or when one team gets 3 souvenirs, and you'll get those by answering questions in different cities. We're going to start the game here in New York. So I'm going to say, Alexa, fly to New York.
That's a great city to start in. Buckle your seatbelt, and I'll fly us there now.
Welcome to New York. Bags down. Let's hit the city.
Lacey has a question about arts and culture for you to answer. It's an easy one, so it's worth 3 points. Lacey, take it away with a question from New York.
New York's the center of the jazz world. In fact, a great jazz club we should check out while you're here is Birdland. Who do you think this celebrated jazz venue was named after? A. The trumpet player Swanston Bird Pigeon Penguin. B. The drummer Robin Bird Redbreast Scott Heron. C. The saxophonist Charlie Bird Parker. D. Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Red team, take a moment to decide on your answer. Then say, Alexa, the answer is A, B, C, or D.
This is a super easy one for me because I'm a jazz player and I studied saxophone players. Oh my gosh. Alexa, the answer is C.
You got it right. Charlie Bird Parker, bebop innovator and all-round genius. He gave his name to Birdland because he used to rule the roost.
Alexa, fly us to Istanbul.
Nice choice, blue team. Let's fly there now. Make sure to place your plane in Istanbul now that we've arrived. Okay, let's hear from our local Emina.
Merhaba, welcome to Istanbul. Where do you fancy going today? Europe or Asia? We got 'em both.
Emina has a question about something random and strange for you to answer. It's also an easy one, so it's worth 3 points. Emina, hit us with a question from Istanbul.
Istanbul has gone through many names in its time. Which one of these is a name it's been called in the past?
So over the course of the rounds, you'll be trying to answer questions, and when you fly, you can only fly to somewhere that's adjacent to where you're at. However, if you've been able to answer a question in a specific city, like before, let's say Blue was in Rome and they got it right, they get a friend there, and how this works is now you can fly through Rome to somewhere else, and as you start answering questions in other places, it allows you to go places faster. However, if another team goes into a spot where you have a friend, they have to stop there and they can't answer a question. Now over the game, Alexa will have you put in different souvenirs at different cities. And when someone goes to one of those cities, if they answer the question, they get one of these souvenirs, which is worth a lot of points. And it's one of the end game triggers, is if once 3 souvenirs have been gotten, then the game will end. In between each round, there'll be a head-to-head matchup where each team will take turns trying to answer a question. If you get it right, you can take some points, or you can take one of these upgrade cards for your color. You can play these at different times throughout the game. For example, to skip the head-to-head and go first, you can say, Alexa, upgrade please, out of the way, we're famous. Or, and here, if you want to hint to one of the questions, you could say, Alexa, upgrade please. That's a tricky one. It's interesting because these same cards are with the other team as well, but they have slightly different sentences, so she knows which team is using the card. This one's always fun. When the other team is answering a question, you could say, Alexa, upgrade please. Time to take out the trash. And it makes them do something funny. It trash talks to them. It makes them say how silly they are. The game has over 600 questions, more than 20 hours of dialogue, voices from different parts of the world, and takes about 30 minutes to play. All right, well, there's When in Rome. Now, I'm an engineer for my full-time day job, and I love technology, and I love seeing things pushed to the edge. And there's been a lot of sort of technology being introduced in the tabletop gaming, and I typically like it a lot when it helps enhance the game, and it doesn't really take over the game. This is one where you're basically merging the Alexa world with tabletop games, and I'm listing this as a positive because the more people that learn about sitting in front of each other and playing games, the more they're going to learn about the other amazing games that are available these days. And so this is going to be a good sort of gateway into people not realizing that people do still sit face to face and play games. And I think that's important. So I am happy that they are merging these worlds because it will help people find other games that help them sit down and play like other tabletop games. I like that Alexa walks you through the rules. People don't like rules. I have a whole series of videos called Rule Schools where I teach people how to play games because people don't like to read rule books. This is cool that she will teach you how to play the game and walks you through it. The game has lots of replayability. There's over 600 questions, I think over 20 hours of dialogue. I like that the different questions come from the authentic people from those cities. You can hear them with the accents and such. I like the head-to-head challenges where you're going back and forth to see who's going to go first. And when you win those, you can take points or upgrade cards. And the upgrade cards are cool because you can play them and say some witty, phrase to key Alexa in, and certain things will happen. I showed you some of those. I like playing those little cards at the right moment. And I like most of the time, you get to select from an easy question for less points or a hard question for more points. So if you're behind, it helps you get back in. And so I like making the friends because when you get a question right, you put a friend there. It makes it easier to fly further, and it stops your opponent from flying through there. They have to stop without answering a question. And this is cool because these different souvenirs are coming out, and you're going to be trying to gather those souvenirs, and getting friends in different spots is going to allow you to fly further on one turn and be able to go get those souvenirs to help get a lot of points and trigger the end of the game. Overall, I thought the game was okay. I'm going to get into my negatives here. First of all, the intros to the cities become very redundant. There was many times I heard the same exact intro to the same city, even within the same game. And that I did not like. With as many questions as they had, I wish they had as many intros and things like that, because it does become a little bit redundant. Either chop them out after you've played before, or make a lot of them. Number two that I didn't like, trivia. Oof. Trivia is one of those games that's been popular in our culture for a while. Back in Trivia Pursuit was like the big popular trivia game with me growing up all the way up here to now as I'm older. And trivia is one of those things that has come a long way. A lot of people don't like the older trivia games because it's all about who knows what. And generally there are things that, who cares, right? I mean, who knows this crazy, weird, general trivia thing? And so the trivia in this game is not really up to what I'd say modern board game standards. You know, over the last decade or so, there's been a lot of pushing for better trivia games. You know, one of my favorites is Wits and Wagers. It's one of these games where all the answers are so crazy that nobody will know, but it's all about numbers, and whoever's you're trying to just figure out who's the closest one. So you don't have to know anything. You don't have to feel like the stupid person in the room going, I don't know any of these answers. I'm not any help. I'm not having any fun. And where, you know, in the Wits and Wagers, you're like, well, I don't care because I don't have to know. I just have to guess who's the closest without going over, and it's really fun. Another game called America from Bezier Games came out a while ago. It has a lot of different aspects of trying to be the closest, and you're pinging off what other people might know, and that's cool too. But this one is just straight trivia, and I'm not sure. I think we're past that these days in the gaming world, or at least in the hobby gaming world, and in mass market as well. I mean, Wits and Wagers is a mass market game, so I would have liked to have seen, as I liked the whole everything that I told you about, I really would have liked to have seen them do something more modern from the trivia aspect about it. The game is more about the novelty or gimmicks of Alexa than really having a good game here. I think a lot of people will like this if you buy for them for gifts and they like Alexa and they like technology, but the game itself is just okay because it's just basic trivia. So it's more about the novelty than anything for me, which I like because I think, again, it's going to bring people to the table and maybe they'll find out about all these other games. And maybe people will start to incorporate some of these other cooler technology in the mass market with some of the better games. So that's what I think about When in Rome.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.